Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a sequel to the original Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Wait, something is wrong. Oh shit, I'm still in the shrink phase. Let me just get back to normal. Yeah, right. Now we're back to normal. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp is a sequel to the widely loved, beloved movie Ant-Man. Now, this is the 20th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the original Ant-Man was hugely accepted by people. Granted, it did not make as much money as the other gigantic blockbusters that Marvel has produced, like Avengers Infinity War, which is like grossed insane amounts of money. But Ant-Man made a decent amount, and it is loved by all the people and critics. So, does this movie, the sequel, live up to the original movie? Let's find out in this full review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. By the way, if this is your first time here, or in case you just can't remember, my name is Puneet and you're watching the Afterthoughts Network. Let's get to it. Now, Ant-Man and the Wasp. It is a standalone movie in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's the 20th movie. So, it is actually connected, but in a very disconnected sort of way. If you see what I mean, it's like it is a standalone movie, but it has threads to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which needs to happen because we are 20 movies in, and we had a gigantic movie like Avengers Infinity War just like a month ago. It wasn't even, it was 2 months, but gosh, they had like 3 movies this year. So this is connected, but is a standalone movie in itself. Now, one of the things that movie does great, it shows you consequences of the actions that have occurred in previous movies. Just like the last time we saw Ant-Man was in Captain America Civil War, and due to his actions in that movie, we see the consequences of those actions in this movie and how they affect his life, his relationships. That is the basic core of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now let's get to acting, because this movie stars Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, Walton, Goggins, Michael Pena. I mean, the amount of talent in this movie is huge, and it has been directed by Peyton who understands the characters of Ant-Man and Hank Pym and Hope, because he directed the original one. So he is back and he has directed this movie, these actors, again to their fullest potentials. And I must say that Evangeline Lilly was actually the standout of this movie. I haven't seen her act as brilliantly as in this movie since she acted in Lost. So I have to say her acting was brilliant. Michael Douglas is Michael Douglas. You don't have to say anything else rather than that. And Paul Rudd is typical Paul Rudd, as you would expect. He has embodied the character of Scott Lang very beautifully. And I have to say, the actress, the child actor who plays the daughter Cassie of Scott, she has done some marvelous work. She's so cute and so full of heart that you just want to cuddle her. She is so... Now let's get back to other characters. Now Luis Michael Pena, which was a beloved character from the first movie, is back. He has the same kind of comedy acting that was in the first movie, but I think in this movie his character has been utilized more than he was utilized in the first movie. In the first movie he was much more of a comic relief in a comic movie. Yeah, that's weird, but still he was a comic relief, a glorified comic relief, I must say. But still, in this movie he is a proper character. He has some things to do. His actions have consequences and his actions have stakes. So he's a fully developed character in this movie. That is something I like. Now coming to the story and the heart of this movie, I think the story and the heart of this movie is the relationships. the relationship between Scott and his daughter, the relationship between Michael Douglas and his daughter Hope, played by Evangeline Lilly, the relationship between Hope and her mother, which is played by Michelle Pfeiffer, then the relationship between Scott and Hank Pym is again, that is the heart of this movie, and the story comes second to the all of the heart to this movie, because the story is very plain and simple. They have to get to the quantum realm to save Hope's mother, and there are other forces trying to get to the quantum realm or trying to steal the quantum technology. So the story is very generic paint by number story, but they do some incredible things with the story, with the action and the comedy that complements the story, and with the heart. I think this movie works on all fronts. It may not be as good or as huge as a previous Avengers Infinity War or even Black Panther, but it does not have to be. It is a great little fun action adventure comedy movie that is just plain enjoyable, and I think on that note the movie clearly works. I found it really enjoyable. Now, some of the things that I really liked about the previous Ant-Man movie was the innovative way in which they used the shrinking tech, the shrinking and going big. In the first movie, that was really cool, and they did some things which weren't expected by anyone in the audience, let alone me. And in this movie, they up the game and mix it up a bit so that you get new and innovative things. We get to see great action along with the shrinking tech, and the way Hope uses her action techniques along with the shrinking tech is very different from the way Scott uses those same tricks, but they work together, and when they come together they have a unique action blend with the shrinking tech. And the villain, which is Ghost, I'll talk about the details later, but the villain, which is Ghost, she can phase through physical objects. So that along with the shrinking tech works brilliantly, I must say. The action is amazing in this movie. And the special effects, my God, I cannot believe the special effects. The special effects were really good. I love the special effects on the Ghost villain. And I love the special effects on the de-aging of Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer, which were used in this movie. And so yes, I really loved the special effects and the action and the comedy, because this movie is really funny, and that all of that mixed together makes a pretty enjoyable and fun ride. Now, coming to some of the negatives of this movie, something I did not like was the one-note performance of the villain. I mean, the one-note character of the villain. The performance was great, yes. The villain was Ghost, as well as the character played by Walton Goggins. I mean, he is a very talented actor, and I'm not of the opinion that if a talented actor is cast in a bad character then, or a smaller character, then that is the waste of an actor. I do not think like that. But yes, Walton Goggins could have done something better, but he chose to do this, and just the character was not written properly. It was not used properly. So I would say that his character has been underused. But in the long run, I must say both the villain characters work for this movie. The stakes are not that high in this movie. I mean, the stakes are not the level of Avengers Infinity War and Thanos. So that is another negative of this movie, that in the entire MCU of 20 movies, the stakes of this movie do not have any repercussions on the other movies of Marvel Cinematic Universe, which will be coming in the next year or the next months. But the stakes are not cinematic universe wide, but the stakes just are there for this movie, and in this movie they work, but they are not there for the entire cinematic universe. All these negatives of this movie make this movie less of a memorable movie, it's not as memorable or as it won't be as beloved as something like Infinity War, or even the first Avengers, or even Black Panther, which was again a standalone single character movie. It's not going to be that memorable, but if you're looking for a fun action adventure comedy thriller, this is a great fun adventure action comedy. That's all I can say about this movie. If you're looking for a great time, if you're looking for a refresher from the aftermath of Avengers Infinity War, then this is a great palate cleanser. And I must say, I have to recommend this movie because I enjoyed this movie so much. I laughed out loud in many of the scenes. I enjoyed the action, the special effects, the acting, and I think this movie works. So I would give it a recommend, and I would recommend you watch this movie this weekend. Now, have you already seen this movie, or are you planning to watch this movie this weekend? Please write it down in the comment section below and let me know, because I would really love to discuss this movie more with you. And if you want more content from our channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever a new video drops. Till that happens, my name is Puneet and you're watching the Afterthoughts Network. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.